So this is going to be our New Year's Eve greetings. What time is it? Okay, it's 2:03 here. Okay. All right, greetings. So this is going to be our. I promised I would do this. I was going to do a one free question. I can't guarantee that I'm not gonna be able to get to everybody. So I'm just, I'm gonna do it as I'm led to do. One question per person. I'm not gonna be on here too long, you guys. I know how it gets. I can get stuck on here for like hour or two. I'm not gonna do it. So I'm just gonna come here and do one question for those, just as I see it, I'm just gonna read them. Okay. I'm doing good. How are you, Amira? Hi, everybody. Baby Pico. Can't see everybody. Greetings. What's up? Steph, what's up? How are you? Okay. Happy New Year to you too. I say this. I don't believe that it's New Year's until spring equinox, but for the sake of it. Hey everybody. For the sake of it, Happy New Year. Hey, I'm the lesson. Everybody, greetings. All right. I am going to celebrate in a effective way. Um, okay. So the questions are already coming in hot. So give me a second. You guys don't have to send super chats. It's free. It's free. It's free, y'all. I appreciate the super chat, Miss Free. Um, I appreciate it. Do not send money unless you feel led to. I'm not asking for money. Um, does this person on my mind know? Okay, y'all questions is coming in hot. So, Miss Free, I'm going to answer your question though. Okay, I know how that feels, and this is like so weird. Okay, this is so weird because last night, I don't know. Like sometimes I can envision stuff like, okay, let's say I know that I have a meeting or something to go to, right, or an interview or something, and I can see the interview like how it's gonna go before it actually happens, and I'm thinking in my mind, I'm just imagining this. It's just me like fantasizing how it's going to go, and sometimes no, it's not. So I have to get like aware of that. So should you move to California? So I'm gonna say this, Miss Free. This is so weird because I had a vision. I was talking to a woman. A woman was asking me about a guy, and I said to her, I'm gonna pull, but this just was coming to me. I had a vision. What I was telling the woman was that if this situation does not bring you peace, it does not provide you peace within yourself, that it may or may not be something that is divinely meant for you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm like, I want some red hair. I'm never dyeing my hair again, though. I'm never doing that again. I try to dye it like a hot pink one. Like this was years ago. I tried to dye it like this hot pink color, and my hair just was like dead. It was brittle. I'm like, why did I do this to my hair? So my hair has been like recovering ever since, and I vowed to buy a wig that's already colored the way I want it to, or I'm gonna buy a wig and dye it myself, or weave extension pieces or whatever. I'm never dyeing my own hair ever again. We ain't doing that. We are not doing that. But no, I had a vision of telling this woman, and Spirit, you got to help me like retrieve the message in its fullest capacity, because like I was in between sleep when this happened. But I told the woman, I'm paraphrasing, it was something along the lines of like, if this situation does not provide you peace, because the man or the person that God has for you is going to bring you peace in your life. Not to say that you guys won't have your ups and your downs, or you don't have your quirks and they don't have theirs, but it's not going to be something that steals your joy from you. It's not going to be something that steals your peace, a peace of mind. It's not going to be someone or something that's constantly closing doors and revolving doors, coming in and coming out as they please. It's not going to be that type of connection. So we got to discern between like time wasters, and that's a word that keeps coming up, like time wasting people in situations versus what is divine. Because the whole like, oh, this is my divine partner stuff is used too loosely, because a divine partnership does not come in and disrupt your life. They don't come in to destroy your life. That's not a divine connection. We got to be able to discern this difference. And sometimes we can destroy our own peace by holding on to something that God is pulling out of our life by us trying to hold on to it, not recognizing that this connection was just for a time and a season. It wasn't meant to stay in my life, or it was meant to teach me a lesson. Rather than getting upset with ourselves or the person, it's just using our own wisdom, using our own discernment to say, okay, well, what was this situation teaching me? You know what I mean? Not everybody that shakens and awakens the heart and taps on your heart is meant to stay or meant to have a fragment or a piece of what you really have to offer. So we have to be discerning, okay? That's all I have to say. And there's a reason why I don't like the word twin flame. Like, yes, I identified with that when I started my YouTube channel. That was the path I was on. But that whole teaching of what twin flames and stuff is soul ties. It's a soul tie. Let's call it what it is. Or people attaching themselves to people that they're not even supposed to, and being wounded, you know, in our brokenness and our woundedness. I don't deal with twin flames. People may not like me saying that. I don't deal with twin flame stuff. That's not what I do. I talk about divine connections that come from the source, the Most High God, divinely ordained connections. I'm not talking about situationships, soul tie connections, false unions, false illusions and perceptions. Oh, this is my person because I feel this. And this is what I learned on my journey. I've had many situations in my personal experience where it could have been a twin flame situation because of the intensity of it. These people have an aspect, they have a character, they have an essence, they have something about them has a similar essence to me, and that are probably what my divine partner has, but they're not my person. There's always something that will tell you this isn't your person, no matter how many signs of synchronicities you see, how many dreams you have about this person. On this journey, you gotta be discerning, y'all. I'm not a new age, light and fluffy person. You gotta have spiritual discernment, because things will trip you up. Things will trick you. So you need to be discerning. You need to be discerning out in these streets. And when I say discerning, whenever you feel something for someone, go into yourself and say, where is this feeling coming from? And then it's not to shame self. It's just like, okay, I'm attracted to him or her. Why? I feel connected to him or her. And you don't have to overanalyze it and start putting it in compartments of saying, oh, this could be my twin flame, or this could be my soulmate. Oh, this could be my husband or my wife, or oh, this could be my future boyfriend. Don't start doing that. Not even in the, regular dating world. It's not healthy to go into situations and getting to know somebody with the eyes of, is this my husband? You know what I mean? Of course, let this person know what your intentions are with dating. I'm looking for my person. I want to get to know somebody. I want to have fun, or I'm just looking for casual this, casual that. You got to know what you're at, the person needs to know where you're coming from, and they need to know, or you need to know where they're coming from with dating. You don't go in with the Disneyland goggles saying, this is my twin flame. And they say when you know who your person is, there's no shadow of a doubt. And that person knows too. That you don't have to force a person to believe what you believe. There's no trying to voice or side and say, you're my husband, or you're my wife, or you're my twin flame. There's no need to do that. The person will know that within themselves, whether they're ready to walk in that, whether they're ready to, they might not say it under those words, but like, I have to say this because I feel like too many of us have been deceived and are still being deceived by this very thing, that it is soul ties. Twin flames are soul ties. If you look at that whole push and pull stuff, like if you look up what soul ties are and the effects of them, that's what a twin flame is. Twin flame itself, like, I understand people saying, okay, divine counterparts, people that are divinely ordained to be together. But a lot of people, let's keep it 100, they're not dealing with divine counterparts. They're putting a cute label on it. They're putting some Twilight movie story label on something that is not that. There's a lot of people you're in a loop. You're in a loop. You are in a loop. Those things, some people, they might title and label their connection as a twin flame under ignorance, saying that that's what it is, saying that this is what it is, but They don't have the discerning of what they're in. They're constantly on a loop. They're crying over this dude or this girl that's living their life. You're still waiting for this person to come into your life. That's a soul tie. That's a trick of the enemy. This is what I learned about spiritual warfare and divine spirits and trickster spirits and demonic spirits. Demonic spirits can be trickster spirits in the guise of coming to you as light and fluffy things, but when you get tied to it, then you're stuck. You've made a covenant with something that you got to break out of. So you've tied yourself to this twin flame dogma, right? You meet a guy, or every guy that shakes your heart up, or you feel a connection, or they're so attractive, he's so beautiful, oh, I'm drawn to this person, or we have similar interests, or oh, our names are similar, oh, he lived in this city, I used to live in that city. You know, we compartmentalize these things to make it make sense. Then when you get attached to that thing or that person, you're in the loop. And this guy is going off with this woman, and you're watching this and you're like, why is this happening? This is supposed to be my twin flame. We're supposed to be together. And you're stuck for 5 years waiting for the same dude or same woman, right? That's not a divine partnership. And I've studied this too. Like, some couples, they have to go on and live their lives and then come back together. But they're living their life. They're happy. They might still have that person in their heart, like, oh yeah, you know, Adam was a good guy. Oh yeah, Sarah, she was a good woman. But they're not stopping their journey for this one person. They're not miserable, crying, waiting for this person, looking for signs and wonders. We got to be careful. Not every sign and synchronicity is from God. It can be from within self. We could be manifesting these things, or these are illusions and tricks of the enemy to keep us stuck. Honey, I've been on this path for a minute. I've been on this path for a minute. So I'm not about to debate over twin flames. It's a soul tie. I said this years ago. I remember a fellow reader of mine that I was cool with for a time. She was like, I feel like it's some type of collective experiment or something. It's like some type of demonic experiment. And at the time, I didn't get what she was saying because it was cult-like. And I said this to myself, I'm like, this twin flame stuff is very cult-like, right? Everybody's like a cult. And oh, I'm gonna wait for him, and people committing suicide over twin flame or their twin, like, that's not divine. It's not. And when I look at the difference between divine unions, because I also study that and I've also observed that, and I have a person example in my life that has a divine union, they all have one thing in common. When they come into contact with that person, they both, at their own time, but in that same small amount of time, can recognize that this is my person, this is my wife, or this is my husband. They both agree on this. And it takes no time. They don't date too long before they decide to get married. It don't take forever. Some, it might take 1 or 2 or 3 years to come together because of circumstances, let's say financial structures and all of that, let's say that. But it don't take no time. It's not gonna take years and years to get to that place to say, oh, he recognized me. And for some, it might be. But I'm just going to say this. God is not the divine, the most high, the creator, whatever you want to say. They don't want you to be waiting for somebody for 10 or 15 years to come into your life. That's not it. That is the trick of the enemy, especially if you really believe in divine unions. Divine unions, by nature, are between two people that come in agreement to be a pillar of divine love and divine assignment together for the planet itself. It's not the cute and fluffy stuff. You don't come together and it's just light and fluffy. It's spiritual warfare, especially if you guys are light workers. There's dark forces that rule this earth. You guys watch The Matrix and all of that. It's not just sci-fi cool shit to watch. They're showing you that. With Neo and Trinity, they're in warfare. They're fighting against the agents of this world, this planet. So the twin flame stuff, yes, I do believe it was a collective experiment. It was some type of, it was a false copycat of what divine unions are. And a lot of people got caught up in the loop because of our wounds. See, the enemy likes to exploit our pain. The enemy likes to keep us stuck in our trauma. It likes to remind us of our trauma and our pain. So that's why so many of us identified with it, because we have codependency issues, we have abandonment issues, we have rejection issues, we have self-worth issues, and some have some of us might have been socially awkward. So therefore it's easy to, Constantine is another good movie. Yes. It's easy for us to identify with something we cannot have or someone that we cannot have because of that. So you have to be careful. The enemy's tricky. The enemy is a trickster. You got to discern in yourself, and you got to be connected to the divine spirit. It's okay to say, oh, the universe, and watch tarot readings. I would say be discerning of what you watch. Back then, I wasn't discerning with who and what I was watching and who I was getting reading from. I've had people say, this person is your twin flame. Oh, yeah, he's your twin flame, right? But, and in essence, they're true, because these people were sent to teach me a lesson. Sent to teach me a lesson about love and relationships, the truth of it, and to teach me about myself, my own wounds, my own wants and needs, and where my wants and needs come from, and to go deeper into my trauma as a child and why I resonate with certain type of love relationships. I did a reading recently with a sister of mine, and I asked her, I said, can you like tap into this dream that I had? Because dreams too can be very, very deceptive if you're not discerning if it's coming from the divine source, or if it's coming from our own subconscious mind, or is it coming from a dark energy, because they can infiltrate our dreams. Watch Inception. Is that the right? I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio. Inception. Watch Inception. And that will show you, like, yeah, your dreams can be infiltrated. You can control your dreams, right? So yeah, I asked her about this dream, and she blew my mind when she said this. She tapped into something that I wasn't even able to see. So I'm grateful that I got that reading. So yeah, dreams. You gotta be careful with dreams too. But especially when you are, everybody likes to use this word, a chosen one. And what a chosen one means is you are that one maybe within your environment that is meant to shift the dynamic of things in the divine way. And when you are a chosen one, let's say Neo, you're going to be attacked, boo. You're not going to be able to just move and maneuver through life without people not liking you, or without people trying to come against you, or trying to stop you, or being jealous of you, or slandering you. You got to have tougher skin than that, because your assignment is bigger than this physical existence, this physical plane. So your assignment is connected to the kingdom of the Most High. And those that are of darkness, they're going to continue to spread hate. They're going to harm, slander, and abuse people. And you see that in this physical reality with the government that we're under. It doesn't care about society. It doesn't care about the humanity of it. They don't care. Those are the Agent Smiths. And then you have, you know, how that it was a scene in the Matrix where it was like a daytime scene or something in the alley or something, and Agent Smith was there, and then another woman, she was like holding her groceries, and then she turned into Agent Smith. There's so many Agent Smiths in our physical existence. When I say that, I mean people that are agents of darkness, whether they realize they're doing it or not, or they just become a willing vessel of that. These could be people that are strangers, people that are your coworkers, unfortunately people in your family, people that you say is your man, your woman. Some people are just agents against you, and that's why you got to be discerning who is in alignment with the divine, who is on the divine team, and who is just over here just trying to like mess stuff up, trying to trip me up. And Neo, he gets strategic in the end because he knows the tactics of his enemy. That's why he's able to stop the bullets when they're shot at him. That's how he's able to, when he was doing the little fighting scene, when all those agents start to multiply. When you're about to have your biggest breakthrough, that's when you have your grandest attacks. Attacks come left and right. Oh, you got an eviction notice. Oh, your boyfriend just broke up with you. Oh, you just lost your job. You just got into an argument with your best friend. All in one day, right? When you have those moments like that, that's where you get your biggest strength, because you're like, okay, I see all of this. This is some shit right here. I see all of this. God, help me through this. Spirit, the divine, help me how to fight this. And Neo had to go through training to get to that place. And at that scene when he was able to, his moves were just so fluid. His moves were so fluid that he could time when Agent Smith was going to punch him this way, or he was able to stop it, and he was doing it so flawlessly. And it's because you're able to see the attacks and you know how to combat that, because you know what you're fighting. You know what you're fighting against. I need to watch Matrix 1, 2. Um, I heard that the last one that they just put out was kind of trash, but I need to go back and watch them again because I want to see something. But you got to get to a place where, like, you know why you're being attacked. And little Chenoa, I don't know about you guys. I'm going to do the free readings, I promise. Like, Spirit has me going on a tangent right now, so I'm going to just trust it. Yeah, I heard it was trash. But little Chenoa had dealt with the root of the racism at a young age. I've always felt a disdain for racism because of youth. When I was a little girl, and bullying, I hate bullies. I don't like bullies. But it was some deep trauma with that I had to heal so that I'm able to know how to not get shaken up by the enemies and the attacks that come my way. Because I've been bullied all my life, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's through a love partner, whether it's through internet trolls coming on here, Instagram, YouTube. I've been through it all. But as a little girl, I had the racism thing come against me at a very young age. I was going to school districts that in that area that I would go to was dominantly white children, or more Hispanic children than it was black children. You might have had a few Asian children, but not many, right? So in kindergarten, this was my first kind of like first social experience with people, with children my age. I went to daycare and stuff like that every now and then, but I didn't stay for too long. But going to school for a full day in kindergarten, and my teacher, Miss Rojas, I'll never forget her. She was a Latina woman. Her name was Miss Rojas, and she was my first Spanish teacher. Like, she taught me Spanish first. She taught the whole class Spanish, so I'm appreciative of that. But there was mostly white kids in my class, and I will never forget how all the little girls would shun me in class, and I would spend recesses by myself. I would just do projects mainly by myself, but it was only one child. And this is the thing, like, the enemy will try to show you the majority of, like, yeah, everybody hates you, right? Everybody doesn't like you. But God is always going to be in the midst. And there's that one person that was in my class, and his name was TK, and I'll never forget him. It's a little white boy named TK. He would always speak to me. He would always say hello, good morning, hi Chenoa. He was the only one in that classroom that acknowledged my existence. So when you feel like that, God is always in the midst. Like, that's an illusion that, oh, everybody hates you, everybody's against you. But I didn't understand at that time how children could be brainwashed at 5 years old, 5, 6 years old, to look at other kids and discriminate them. I never understood that, and that was something that always bothered me. I had a bully in, I think it was second grade, third grade. I don't remember this one's name. There was another bully. It was a white guy. A little boy named Brett, one of them. But this other bully, he would bully me. He had the nerve to tell me, aren't you supposed to be sitting in the back of the bus? We're doing a school drill on the bus, and this little boy is like, aren't you supposed to sit in the back of the bus? And that really just, like, crushed me. I was like, excuse me, mother? Like, that hurt me. And that's why I got so angry. Like, when I got old enough to understand racism on a systematic level and all of that, it really, really, like... I went off on this one man. Like, I got into an altercation with a white man in my adult life, and I don't know if I turned into the Hulk or something, but this is a full-grown man, a full-grown white man, and I'm watching Hidden Colors. I'm watching all these slave movies and, like, slave documentaries, excuse me, and we get into altercation. He was talking disrespectful to me and my mother, and I lifted this grown man off of the ground. Mind you, I'm 5'5". Like, I'm kind of average height or kind of short. I don't know how I lifted this grown man off of the ground. I don't know. Something came up. I don't know. I was pissed. Like, I was gone. I dropped everything and I picked this dude off the ground. I looked him in the eye and then he got arrested. Me and my mom, we didn't get arrested. He got arrested and he was drunk. So that's his karma. But I was dealing with a lot of residual hate. I was becoming the thing that I despised. I was feeling some type of way and looking at people like, oh, you know, I don't, so I had to heal that. And then I had to heal the whole bullying thing and being triggered by that, because that was sent to me at a young age, that whole bullying and feeling like, okay, what am I supposed to do? That came to me very young, and I had to deal with that. The bullying of it, and all of them were white kids, and I always felt like, why are they doing this to me? Like, what is it? And it's really to bring about separation. And I feel like maybe as kids, we all go through that differently. I'm sure different kids have their own take on this, being bullied by their own race, or being bullied by females, or being bullied because of their religion or because of their spiritual customs. There's so many different things. But I had to heal that. I noticed that a lot of us are healing inner child stuff. So I had to get to the root of that so I can be able to see the attacks before they come, if that makes sense, and how to handle the attacks and not combat them with fire and not fight evil with evil, but allow the divine to fight my battles. That is a lesson that I learned. Long story short. But I don't know if Miss Free is on here. Miss Free. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you gotta identify your own wounds. Like, that's the part of healing that may not always be so fun, in case, like, especially when you feel like overwhelmed. Like, why do I always gotta be the one to have to heal something? We all do. We all have healing to do. It's all about who's willing to do this self-work on themselves, because we can just go and walk through life, be like some of our grandparents that still carry some stuff that it's almost, I can't say that it's too late, but to a point, like when you get a certain age, you don't want to deal with anything anymore. And you get so set and stuck in your ways that, you know, when you try to talk to the old heads about stuff and they're so dead set in their ways, it's just like, okay, it's a lost cause. You know what I mean? So you don't want to get to that point where you're well up in age and you're stuck in your trauma, your wounds. You don't want to get to that point, because it's not everybody's fault anymore. Once we get to an adult age, then it becomes, okay, I gotta uncover all this. I gotta unpack all this. And sometimes the healing is helpful when you're able to sit before your parents to say, you know, as a child, I felt like, you know, you could have been there for me more. They might get upset, but like, I loved you as best as I could. And that's true. You did. I'm sure you did. You didn't know any better. If you look at your mother or your father, they probably, you know, did the best they could off of what they knew, right? But the generational curses and trauma, it stops here with me, because I'm not dealing with it anymore. Whether you have children or you don't have children yet, it stops here with me. Yeah. It stops here. Because I don't want to take this into my unions. I don't want to take this in on my kids. And I check myself all the time with my daughter. I'll be like, let me make sure that I'm not spilling all of my stuff, my childhood wounds, onto my own child and my own daughter. I don't want to repeat this stuff. And my little sister kind of is like a second daughter to me. So I think about that too. I think about her. Like, I don't want to be like that towards her. So I got to be careful with that. So I didn't feel that love all the time from my parents. You know, they might have put me in a good area or a good school, or, you know, made sure that we had good Christmases, or our birthday, we were never forgotten. But there were some things that I felt like I could have been more nurtured, more loved, more reassured, you know, edified, spoken life into, I feel, as a child. So when you get to that place, it could be some residual resentment towards your parents, like, oh, well, he didn't do this or she didn't do that. But they did the best that they could. They have wounds too. So you can look at your parents and be like, oh, F them. And some of us might have had worse experiences with our parents. Some of our parents may have given us up for adoption, or had other kids, and then you're looking at them like, okay, you just left me. Or you've been physically and sexually abused. I mean, a lot of us have, you know, that's unfortunate. Or kids that had some really bad physical abuse situations in their homes and stuff like that. There's deeper wounds too. So it's work to be done, and that's the reality of it. But it's far more worse than to just hate everybody, hate the world, walk around, everybody's against me, everybody's an enemy, you're a target, you can get it because you remind me of my mother, or you're triggering the abandonment wounds, or you treat me like my dad, so you can get it. Oh, F men, oh, F women, F everybody, you know, that sickness inside of self, that childhood trauma and those generational curses and demons and deeper things, that stuff has to be extracted out of you, because it's like it's either going to become a fest for demons to feed off of you, to keep you stuck and keep you bruised and, as they say, busted and disgusted, keep you in that energy or essence. Or you have babies and children, or you have partners, and you're spilling all of your trauma onto your partners. You're abusive towards your partners. You don't know how to show love towards your partners. You don't know how to receive love from your partners. You're jealous. You're this, you're that. Or you have babies and you're treating your babies like this. You can't keep it going. It got to stop somewhere. It has to stop. We all have a choice. Some of us don't have a choice because the divine wants to use some of us for some very, very powerful things, and it's going to require you to be emptied out. And your traumas and your experience is going to be your testimony for somebody. So some of us, we don't have a choice. But for majority of everyone, we all have a choice. We can either choose life or we could choose death. We could choose to speak life over ourselves or speak death over ourselves. We could choose to speak life over others or speak death over others. It's all a choice. It's your choice. At the end of the day, it's nobody's responsibility but you. Even though your parents might have did it to you, as an adult, you got to say, okay, this is my life story now. This is my journey. How do I want to walk it? That's it. And yeah, we have some down days. Like, yeah, like the depression and stuff, all that stuff gets real. The anxiety, the night terrors and all of that. But thank God for God, like, for real. And when I talk about God, I'm not talking about a religious God. Again, I'm saying, you know, you gotta go into that place and all of that stuff. I could go deeper into this, but I don't know if everybody's ready to hear that, because the word demon might trigger people, because we live in a society today that they want to just be they want to be bottle fed. We live in a bottle fed society, and spirituality for some is bottle feeding. You know, feed me the good stuff, bitch. I ain't trying to hear about spiritual battles and warfare. And you know, I want to call myself a chosen one and a light worker because it sounds cute, but when it gets to the nitty gritty of what that really entails, it's like, okay, it's just for the aesthetic. It's just for the views and the likes, and to say I'm spiritual because it's another cloak, it's another disguise, it's another brand label. It's just like what was popping back in the day, Juicy Couture. It's just another Juicy Couture fad that we're putting on. It's crystals and chakras. It's just another thing for some people. But this stuff has always been sis, I love, wait, hold on. I'm not ignoring you, sis. I love how your face just lit up when mentioning the glory of God. Yes, because I know it. I know it. Like, y'all, Chenoa be going into some battle, and a lot of the battle is like, no one else is knowing about the battle. No one else, I'm not talking and telling everybody about what I'm going through. I'm doing it by myself and God. And being able to be pulled out of that. That's why I could talk about God in a way like, I'm not telling y'all about God from some religious standpoint. I'm talking about it in essence, the power of what that is, that love. Like, I'm getting chills. I can tell you about it. Like, I was in my bed suffering one day, like crying because I got into an argument with my mother. Like, she was laughing at my pain. Like, she was literally, that thing that came over her was laughing at me. Like, demons like to laugh at people when they're in pain. Have you ever noticed that? Someone could be crying, boo-hooing, and they'll just be like, or they'll smile. That's how you know a demon's manifested. But I was laying in bed just like distraught over this. Still hurt. I did my spiritual bath. I did my cleansing and everything. And I'm crying in bed. And something told me to turn on this minister, turn him on, listen to him. And I'm listening to the words, and something clicked. I'll never forget it. Get up, Chenoa. I heard a voice say, get up. I got up. I heard, take a deep breath, speaking in tongues. And I'm crying, not crying out of pain, but I'm crying out of this relief and this peace and this love. And I couldn't stop the tongues. They just kept coming. I tell the story all the time because that's how God moves so quick. One moment I'm in my bed feeling depressed because I got into an argument with my mother. She's laughing at me. I feel alone. Yeah, I talked to my friends or my sister, I see it. Yeah, I told her how I felt. And she said, oh, you know, you always got a place to stay. But I'm still in here crying in my room. And God said, get up. And I released whatever that was over me. That's when my tongues were activated. So, yeah, it's that easy. And I'm talking, maybe God didn't want me to, the free questions I'm giving you the free question right now. I don't know how this is going to work because my gifting is not in the cards. My gifts amplify the messages through the cards, but the cards are not my gift. My gift is being utilized through the cards. So I don't need cards. I'm a voice for God and a vessel, but God placed me in this environment of new age stuff and the occultic stuff and giving me the grace to learn about these things so I can help people through this stuff. This is not where I'm supposed to be for long. Like I keep telling some of y'all, like I don't know how long this channel is going to be up or what's going to happen to the channel. It's going to shift its message. I'm not a tarot reader. I'm not a tarot reader. I can read cards. I don't even really read them traditionally. I'm a prophetic voice first. That's my calling. That's it. From birth as a child, my godparents are in the church. I have a pastor for a godfather and a godmother that's the first lady. They pray for me. I'm not in church. I don't go to church anymore, but I have them. They've always been that voice for me. My grandma dedicated me to God as a baby. It's my calling. I can't run from it. So when I got called to do this YouTube shit, it wasn't really about the cards. Like God knew what he was placing me in. So I'm not going to say I can't read the cards. Like some of y'all come on the channel thinking y'all about to get a reading because of the cards. But I'm reading for you. I'm just not using cards because I don't need them. I don't need them. So, I don't need them. So, yeah, it's all about your relationship with your divine creator. It's really that simple. You want to know about a man, you want to know when money's coming into your life, talk to your creator. It will be given to you. Somehow it will be revealed to you. I don't ever want to be a crutch with my readings. I don't want people to come to me looking for fortune telling because that's not what I do. That goes against what I do. As a prophetic voice, I have the seeing ability to see things that I'm allowed to see and speak what I'm allowed to speak. But I'm not meant to like, oh, let me tell your future. Like I can't do that sometimes. Like God will allow me to see certain things in the future. And if I get it, I tell you. But I can't fetch for that. I can say this could possibly happen for you. This could be a probability. There's one way or this way that it can go, or Spirit is saying, no, this is not it, or yes, this is something, yes, this is going to happen for you. Yes, this is a yes for you. But that's not all the time. So I don't ever want anybody to be looking for me to tell them their future when you can get it from God first. I would be doing a disservice to you if I painted like I knew everything. I don't. I only know what I'm allowed to say and to see. So when you need an answer, your first person should always be God. It should never be a YouTube reader. It should never be you putting out some coins to get a reading or something else. Even in the Christian community, prophetic words can be fortune telling for some people. Like they're going on YouTube trying to find a word. You can't do that either. Your first voice of reason is the divine creator. That is it. You can say, God, is this the right job for me? My financial situation looks like crap right now. What do you want me to do? Oh, you're going to get the question. You're going to get the answer. It might take time. It might come through something else or someone else, but guaranteed you're going to get your answer. That's a part of developing. You want to know how do I hone in on my spiritual gifts, or how do I tap into my psychic abilities? Connect with God more. Because when you're navigating through your relationship with the divine, you have to use your discernment to know, okay, is this God's voice? Is this me? Am I being deceived? Or is this, am I projecting? You have those places to fall back on. You have those things that you can key point and check. So that's pretty much what it is. So, yeah. That's pretty much what I can say. How you build your intuition, how do you build your psychic abilities? I mean, they're giftings, like your ability to see, your ability to prophetically hear, not just prophetically see, but you can prophetically hear. Those are all things that you have to navigate with your relationship with your creator. And our creator cares about all areas of our life, and they know what's of our highest good. So if you ask God to say, to show you if this person, is this person my twin flame, is he going to come back? First say, is this the man that you have for me, or is this the woman you have for me? It's going to be revealed over time whether or not. And sometimes, thankfully, and sometimes I get upset with this too, but thankfully I get an immediate answer. And like, if I'm asking about somebody, like, God, do you want me to date this person? Is this person for me? Do you have my best interest? And a lot of times it's going to be a no. Because love can be a distraction for me. God knows that. I'm just being real. God knows that love is a distraction. Like romantic partnerships and stuff, if I'm not in the place for that right now, God knows it will be a distraction for what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm supposed to, in my healing process. Like, it's, yeah. So no, God's like, no, that's not it. And sometimes I just be looking for stuff to put my focus and attention on, to get my focus off of self, and God's like, I'm stripping that right away. Oh no, you ain't gonna be talking on the phone with your homegirls all day. No, you ain't gonna be doing that. Oh no. Oh, these cards, you trying to like do some readings. Oh, I'm about to shut that down. No, sit down somewhere and do something that I told you to do. So yes, it's fun. It is fun. And I'm saying all this to say, for those of you, because I know not everybody is at the same place within their journey within themselves. I'm just being a mouthpiece to somebody because I know some of the words that I'm saying is hitting for somebody that might be asking these questions, or it's an answer within an answer, if that makes sense. So yeah, love can be a distraction, you guys, and I know that love is beautiful, it's important. The Most High loves love. God created divine union for the glory, to show his love. Like, that's the thing. And somebody said this, it was so beautiful. I think I said it before on a reading or something, but I came across a girl. Her name is Crystal, what's her name, Crystal Lyle or something, Crystal Nicole Lyle. She's a prophetic voice, and she said something that was so beautiful, and it makes so much sense. She said, the man that, or woman that the divine has for you, they're going to love, like God is going to love you through them, and vice versa. Beautiful. Beautiful. Because the love of God is unconditional love. If you talk about the world's love today, it's based off of how big your breast is, how big your booty is, your face, how thick, how slim you are, how light, how dark you are, if you're this race, if you're that race, how many followers you have, how much, how stacked is his abs, all this little stupid stuff, right? And they talk about high value men, and when they say high value men, the world says a high value man is a man that has money, that has status, right? High value man is a man of character, a man of integrity, a man that has the fruit of the spirit within him. If you don't know what the fruit of the spirit is, go look it up. That is a high value man, a man that loves with peace, that loves with understanding, that loves with divine authority and conviction. That is submitted in obedience. That word might be triggering to some people. Obedience and submitting to a higher power might be triggering. Let's say being in divine alignment with, putting and placing themselves in divine alignment with their creator. That's a man of high value. A man that submits to his own will and treats women like dirt, that's not a high value man. No matter how much money you have, no matter how good you look. That's like, I don't know why they always make Blair Underwood play these evil characters in movies. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they do that. But they always have him playing like these evil characters. Like, he's a dark and handsome man with the money and the suits, but he's always playing like this evil character. So if you say, if that type of man is a high value man, then what are you saying, really? That type of man is high value? Because he got money, because he got status, but he's an asshole. He doesn't have the capacity to love you unconditionally. He doesn't have a mind for God. He's his own dictator. That you don't want that. You don't want those type of people. Those they don't come in grace. God does not side with wickedness. They don't. God doesn't side with wickedness. So, not saying that the man is perfect. He might have been an asshole in his heyday. He might have been a player in his heyday. But it's all about who you are in the now. See, the enemy likes to remind us of our past. The enemy likes to constantly remind you, oh, remember that time? Oh, you did this, you was in the streets. Oh, you was pimping this woman and that woman, or oh, you slept with this man and that man. The enemy will remind you of that. But if you parted ways with that person that you once were, that doesn't exist anymore. Because the divine says once you repent, you're done. That God's not going to remind you of that. That's unconditional love. So when people get married, a lot of people get in divorces because they can't take some of the and God knows that's why some of us haven't married yet, because marriage is work. And if you say you want that type of marriage, it requires some work. It requires dedication, discipline. It requires submitting yourself and your ego and your ways, your flesh, your need to control. You can't take your daddy issues in here. Your man is not your daddy. You know, he's not responsible to make you happy, you know, solely. He can't be your sole source of happiness. So you're going to tire your man out if you're always crying, oh, you forgot about me. Oh, you didn't text me. Like he can read your mind or something. You know, you can't have that. A man that is like a man that has some sense, he's not going to want to deal with that. A woman that has self-love is not going to put up with you running in and out of the house. They're not going to be dealing with you, oh, that's just my homegirl. Like, they're not going to know. Mm-mm. So you say you want that, but you got to be in the place for that. And yes, sometimes spirit will use your marriage to be the thing to strengthen you and help you heal. That's some people's story. But if there's something that the divine can see in your heart that's not equipped for marriage or equipped for this divine union that you want, Spirit's going to continue to empty you out and continue to work on you, and maybe even work on your partner too, while you guys are not have come into contact yet. That might be some people's story. So that's why patience is a virtue. It really is. And when you get into divine connection in marriage and union, let's say your person does slip up and they do cheat on you. Are you going to remind them when they say, you know, they truly are sorry and they don't do it again? They haven't cheated in 5 years, but you're still reminding them of 5 years ago when they cheated on you. Are you really coming from unconditional love? That's some of the stuff that people have to deal with in marriage. Like, it's not always going to be light and fluffy. You might have slipped up and said something very hurtful towards your partner 2 weeks ago, and you apologize. You sincerely apologize, but your husband is still like puffing his nose up at you. He barely wants to kiss you. That means he hasn't forgave you. He still has that blockage in his heart. Marriage takes work. It's not, people think when you get into marriage, it's light and fluffy. I have a friend that is married, and she said this. She said, I still have certain things that I have to heal in the marriage. And my husband, he constantly says, why aren't you comfortable in our love? And it's because it's still work to be done within self. It's not just an overnight. You don't just get into union and it's just light and fluffy and it's done. No, it's still, as long as you're here on this planet, this earth, you're going to go through growth processes in your life to continue to elevate you and grow you and mature you in your life experience. Again, it's all a choice. Do we do it or do we not do it? Do we go forth with it or do we not go forth with it? And for some of you asking about a person, is this your twin flame? No, they are not. I can tell by the way that you're asking it. You don't have to ask that question. You already know the question. For some of you, I wouldn't say, you take the word twin flame out of it and say, Spirit, is this the man or the woman you have for me? Take the twin flame label out of it, because the word twin flame within itself is not a divine term. I hate to say it. It's not. I remember when God said, stop using that, stop saying that. Like, oh shit, okay. That's why I stopped doing those readings. God was like, stop saying that. I'm like, oh, okay. I will not say that word anymore. So instead, let me be more clear with what I'm asking you, Spirit. because there's confusion within that word and that term within itself, because it's not a true divine connection. Y'all can get mad at me. I don't believe in twin flames. I believe in divine union. I don't believe in man-made labels and terms, and this is how it's gonna go, and he's gonna pull away from you. He's gonna love that. Like, what, you telling me to stick around for some love bombing shit? Oh no, 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 thank you. I watched Twilight for the drama. I ain't dealing with it, and I don't like that fucking movie. My mom likes that movie. I don't like that movie, but I'm just using this as an example. And the Notebook is not a good example for twin flames, because when they parted ways, they lived their life. You didn't see, what's her name? I don't know what her name was in the movie. You didn't see her sitting in there crying over Ryan Gosling, or him crying over her. Yeah, they still had feelings. The vibes were still there, but they were able to move on with their lives. That's different. She was, oh my God, he was my twin flame. Like, no, that's not how it goes. Like, no. Child, no. That stuff is, I'm telling you, it is a karmic cycle. It's a loop. Get the fuck off the wheel. And say to spirit, have the courage enough to say, okay, God, you know, I believe in divine true love without the label. That essence of godly love, that when I say godly love, I'm not talking about like church. Oh, I got a button-up shirt. I can't wear lipstick. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the essence of what love is, that purity, that person that God has chosen for you. Your creator said, I want Sarah to be with Adam and Adam to be with Sarah, because they vibe. They come from the same fabric. Their life perfectly goes together. They're their own unique individuals, but I see this is an equally yoked. They can come together. I can see this for them. I have a purpose and plan for both of them individually, and their purpose together. I have something for them. Rather than you saying to yourself, I'm going to identify this, and that person is that, and you're wondering why you're running into circles and problems. You're wondering why you're still stuck on this person. A lot of people breadcrumb you. They like the attention that you give them. They like the energy that you feed them. So they're not going to tell you outright and say, you know, I don't think we should be together. They're going to make you feel like they're interested. They'll answer your texts and phone calls every now and then. They'll respond to your DMs every now and then. They might make plans with you every now and then. They might cancel some of those plans. They know that a man or a woman knows when somebody likes them. We know when people like us. Like, we might go back and forth in our mind, especially if we, you know, we're insecure. We might go back and forth. But in essence, you know when somebody likes you. So if a man or woman is playing those types of games with you, they are not your divine counterpart, boo. And I hate to say it. Because if God told you that they're your twin flame, why wouldn't they tell this other person the same thing? Oh, he's running because he's scared. Okay, well, I'm sure the connection scares you too. So why is one person running? And some of y'all might have a logical response to that. Well, men don't handle emotions the same. True. But a man that knows in his heart, this is the thing, and I'm going to challenge y'all with this. I'm going to use the Bible, and I'm going to use references to men. It was a study that I watched or I read. It was a survey of married men. In the Bible, it says that Adam, he said, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. He knew Eve when he seen her, that he came from him. He came from the source. He was connected. We were one. He knew that right away when he seen her. So then I'm going to go to, for you practical people, logical, practical, I got to see it to believe it people. There was a survey done on married men that said, when did you know that your wife was the one? Some said immediately when they seen her. Some said after 2 or 3 months. Some said within a year they knew she was the one. Some of them got married within a year. Some of them got married within 2 to 3 year window. And some of it is circumstances, like I said earlier. It could be due to financial things. It could be you guys are still in college and you guys want to finish college and then get married. Or something to do with maybe long distance or something. You know, certain circumstances. But within those times, both people can agree that they knew and they felt the connection. None of them was saying, oh, you know, I can't do it. No. When you meet your one, when you see your rib or whatever you want to call it, or you see your divine, your person, as we say in the spiritual community, your person, you're going to know. It's not going to take this person 5 years. I'm telling you, you're either dealing with somebody that is there to waste your time and they know they're wasting your time, or you yourself are causing your own delay because you haven't taken, gotten the hint that this is not it. Take the labels off. I said this years and years ago. Stop using labels. When what we speak out of our mouth has weight on it. So if I'm using a label, a twin flame, it has a collective value of something. It has an energy on that term itself. And someone that whoever created the guidelines of what a twin flame is, when you say that out of your mouth, you're agreeing to the dynamic of that. I want you to understand that. Soon as you say I'm a twin flame or I'm in a twin flame union, you're agreeing to this push and pull back and forth thing. You're agreeing to those different stages of that situation. Some people do, when they say, oh, this is my twin flame, yeah, you might see some people on YouTube saying, oh, we're in a twin flame union, and they're teaching other people. And I read something else. It was, I don't know if it was in Vogue magazine. It was one of those popular magazines. A woman did an interview with a couple that teaches twin flame stuff on YouTube. They've gotten so many testimonies of people. One girl said that she was told that her ex was her twin flame, and he got a restraining order on her because she kept like inserting herself in his life. And he was like, I don't know where you're getting this from. Like, move on, let it go, right? And she was only doing it because they told her that he was her twin flame. And she ended up getting a restraining order, or he ended up getting a restraining order on her. Another instance, it was a girl that was told, she's a lesbian woman, but these people were saying someone else in their group was her twin flame, which was a man, so they were kind of forcing these two to be together. Or it might have been the other way around. It might have been a woman that was straight and they were trying to insert her in a lesbian. It was something, one of those things. So you guys gotta be careful what you assign yourself to, because if one person can tell you that somebody is a twin flame or is your one, then why can't God tell you that first? God is your creator, so God knows everything, whether you like using the word God or not. The source of everything, your creator, knows your in and your out. They know that, okay? They know that. So why wouldn't you be able to be the first one to hear whether that's true or not? Do you have patience to really wait and see for God to reveal that to you? So whoever marketed that, I get the essence of what I get it. Like, I can see where some of the divine aspects of a twin flame, I can see some of it, but I honestly believe like it's someone inserting their own personal experiences and trying to make it everyone's one experience. That's why you have to be discerning. Don't put no man's word above the divine creator. Don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. Like, it's not worth it. Um, it's like it's a trap. It is a loop. And I'm not only speaking just from myself, like the experiences, like I could tell you, like you might think that one person um, you can only have that experience with one person. No, that's not true. I've had like maybe 3 or 4 experiences with other people. Two, one of them being somebody I actually was in a relationship with. Someone that it was just, we talked online. We talked online. That was it. One being someone in my social environment, like an associate, a friend that I thought was that one, right? And you can have these experiences with these people. You can believe that. And then there's the cases of people that you have crushes on, and then you think because you have that connect or that crush, or and don't make no mistake, we're all connected. Truthfully, we're all connected. You can find something with me that you connect with. I could find something with you that I could say, oh, that's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Like, our moms have the same middle name. I guarantee you, you could find a similarity in everybody's life and story. And if you just hone in on that one thing and you start to obsess over it, then you're starting to look for things to validate that feeling. It's going to show up. But when it's the divine, there's no excusing it. There's no explaining it away, because it's a dynamic between two people that just like, you feel it, I feel it too, and we vibe off of it. I do believe that it can be cases where someone can know that it's a vibe, it's a connection there, it's something to move and act on, and they can decide that they don't want to do it. We have free will at the end of the day. So there is that case. But the person that the divine has for you is not going to keep you waiting for very long. Um, because it's something within the souls that want to be together. That is true. When you talk about twin flames and they just want to merge, that is true. So that part of it is true. But there's no going back though. There's no, he decided, F this heifer. I'm just going to go over here with this other woman and I'm going to leave this woman over here suffering. At that point, let's say hypothetically that person was your person that you were supposed to be with and he decided, this connection is too much for me. It requires me to step up and level up. She's too much for me or he's too much of an energy for me. I can't handle it. I don't feel like I'm ready to step on that level with that person. So I'm going to go with what's comfortable, right? It's something it's smooth sailing. It doesn't require too much work out of myself or healing or for me to step out and be in the forefront in my purpose, right? Let me step back, right? And date this woman where it's easy. It's common. We don't have to, we just do daily things. She doesn't trigger anything in me. I'll just stay with her. Let's say that was the person you were supposed to be with. You don't sit waiting on that dude because what they say is when you leave one thing or that one thing that you leave behind, you make room for something greater and something bigger, something that is more aligned with you. God is never going to leave you empty-handed. Just because one person's free will said, I'm not going to go with this. Yep, it happened to me too. And I'm going to say this very boldly. Like this, I heard it. The person that I was friends with, God said that was my husband. He did. But that person chose another path, and that's okay. And if I stay stuck waiting for that person to get it or to come into it, because he would kind of ease and then you would fall back, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I'm not doing it anymore. Like if I stay in this loop for too much longer or another year, I'm gonna be fucked. I'm not gonna do that. I know God has somebody for me. I'm not waiting. God's not gonna do that to me. I know that. It's not. So it's true. That can happen. Someone could say, I agree to this, but then, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to back up. I'm going to back out of it. I'm just not doing it. So I say all that to say, you guys, and if you want to apply that as finances and life purpose, or you don't know if a job is for you, you don't know if this, you should move, ask God to show you a sign. I could be the voice and give you a message and heads up about it, but I would always suggest this. Like before you come on and ask a question to me, anybody else, any other readers or whatever, you and God with yourself, however you want to do this, is this the job for me? Should I move here? Is this person of my highest good? And some things it's like you already know the answer to that. Like sometimes it'll come immediately, or sometimes it'll take a couple of days, maybe a week. Yeah. Yeah. No, I knew he was mine. Let me read it. This sounds like a poem. Yet when I saw him, it's like I knew he was mine, like I knew him before, but he never chose to come this way. That's yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's true. Many women have experienced that. I was actually, what was it? Was it YouTube or I read it? No, I didn't read it. Hey sis, I'm not ignoring y'all. I can't, some of y'all know I don't got good eyesight, and if you don't know, I really don't have good eyesight. So I have to, oh no, that was, okay, I see. Hey sis, tell Kenya I said hello. Tell Moon I said hello. Um, yeah. It was a woman that I was watching on YouTube, and she was talking about how um, someone was shown, or I don't know, maybe I think she was talking about somebody else, but the story was like what she was sharing was that yeah, it's possible that God can ordain you with somebody and that person decide not to move forth on that. Like they can know it, because I know for a fact that he knew that. He knew. I know for a fact he knew that. So But he decided otherwise. And I'm not going to harp on it too much. Sure, the regret is there. Um, I'm not waiting on anything or anybody. That's just the thing. Like, that happens. That happens. I remember um, it was a guy that I was dating, and it was Venus retrograde, mind you. So I don't know if some of that was, I don't know if some of that was like highlighting it, but we were just like in this extreme bubble phase, like, oh, this is my one. And when we broke up, it was so like it hurt really, really bad. Like it really hurt to let him go. And but then when we hung up off the phone, I felt so free. I felt so liberated when I hung up. When I was just like, because I wasn't holding my breath anymore. I felt like in that relationship, we were so. It was an intoxication. That was like a false love. Like no, we really loved each other, but it wasn't that. And I remember him telling me, I thought this was meant to be. Right? We both felt that energy, but it wasn't that. It wasn't supposed to be because when I left the relationship, when I fully pulled myself out of it, I felt this weight lifted off of me. Like I felt like, okay, I'm not waiting for him to, like that feeling of always waiting for him to call me, text me and stuff. I didn't have that anxiety anymore. So when we stopped talking, I felt that freedom. Yeah, I missed him. And we got cool after that and talked, and it was that same thing. So it wasn't meant to be. But yeah, God's not gonna leave you empty handed, I promise you. Because that guy came before the other one where I said like we had this connection and God told me what he told me. And I know I felt it. Like when I felt it, it was a strong impression. It wasn't anything like oh my God, like sparks flying. It was a subtle knowing. I knew like okay, and that was one thing that I can say was different from all of the other people was that I would over analyze it, I would overhype it, or someone else would tell me, oh yeah, this is the person, or this is your person, or this is your twin flame, and then I would kind of like force myself to kind of get into it and believe it, or because of my wounding, I attached my emotions onto the wrong person, and I tried to convince myself that that was the truth, but the only thing that separated that experience from the others was that when I got that impression, it was a subtle knowing. It was just a piece. It wasn't a whole bunch of, oh my God, that's my husband. Oh, that's my twin. I didn't feel all that. It was just new, right? So that back and forth shit with that person and like that was too much. So I had to make up in myself, like, do you really want to do this? Because obviously, and I prayed about it. And a woman told me this. She's a seer too. She told me this. She said, yeah, this is him. But if he so decides that he doesn't want to step up, because being with you means that he's going to have to level up within his own self and his own journey. He's going to have to evolve, right? He can't do the same things that he's doing. He's showing up as a page. But if he doesn't show up, there's someone else that's in place for you. She said, give him 7 days. A week from that, when she said that, give him 7 days, he did some corny shit. Like, did some corny shit. And I was just like, okay. And I didn't heed to the sign of that. I'm just like, this is not funny. Like, this is not funny. You can like my post on my birthday, but you can't like actually wish me happy birthday. Like playing a whole bunch of games and stuff. So then one time he did something really foul. Like this one thing really said, I'm done. And I meant it. I ain't talked to him since. I have not interacted with him since that happened. I'm like, I'm good. You just showed me like, okay, I'm good. So I'm trusting in that and believing and knowing like that didn't work out. God has something better for me. I'm not waiting for nobody. Not. Just not doing it. So, yep. Yeah, I'm not doing it. You're ready, you want to evolve within yourself, you're A1 in that, or you're not. But just know that God's not going to leave you empty-handed. It's not going to happen. It's really not. It's not going to happen. So, I'm glad for those experiences because I could see the counterfeits too. Counterfeits becoming left and right. Oh God, oh you're my twin flame, and all this stupid shit. Like no, and I know this within myself because I've had a lot of instances where people would hit me up from fake accounts and then like you don't got to do all that. Like I said, you're not going to come in and approach somebody under the guise of um, hiding yourself, pretending, or just hiding, period, and say, oh, you're my twin flame. Like, no, that's some bullshit. That's some false shit. You come as you are. And if you have the courage to come as you are and say what you feel and say what you believe, you got to be okay with the fact that it might not be that's what it is. You might get rejected. I've had to go through that. I've had to go through that. We all been through it. I've been put in places where I've had to be honest in my truth and tell somebody how I feel, and there's been moments where they didn't feel that, and that's okay. That's freeing because you're no longer setting yourself up for failure and fantasizing and idealizing someone or someone that is not for you. It's like you could waste a lot of time doing that. So I'm grateful for those moments. Like, yeah, it hurt my feelings. Like, okay, I thought, I felt this, blah, blah, blah. And it showed and it proven not to be so. So that's okay because that frees me from that. I'm not dwelling in that energy anymore. I can make space and align myself for what is. So I say this too, like some people will actively come as a counterfeit. They know they're not your one, but they come in with their own agendas, right? And the key to knowing that is God's not going to make you settle for something. So if I don't even understand why people be coming at me with like pages, like fake pages or pages with no pictures, no profiles saying, oh, you're my twin flame, or like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's weird. Come as you are. If you have the balls to do that, and if you don't, like, what's the point? Like, go sit down somewhere. And I've had people like say and confess their feelings and stuff, and I don't feel the same. It's just that should be freeing for you. Like, it should be freeing for you to say, okay, she's not my one. Let me make myself available for the right person. Why would you want to sit in misery, like fantasizing or hoping and wishing for someone that's not for you when you can say, okay, I acknowledge that I like this person or I desire them or I feel this and that, but something, showed, it was revealed to me that they don't feel the same or it's not that. Let me make myself available for the person that is for me. And you don't got to be mad about it. Like, that person is not, if they're not your person, why are you mad at them? Like, you have a person for you. Why are you mad at that person? Um, I could say I can get it where you feel like people waste your time. Like the guy that I was cool with online, like I feel like he was wasting my time. Like, I told him outright how I felt about it, and he was like feeding into it and everything. But when it came down to actually meeting up, he he flaked. So I took that as like, okay, no. And it took me a while to get it. Like, no, this dude is just feeding off of your interest. He's feeding off of you liking him and you messaging him. Like, no, you got to cut it, break it, let it go. So we let it go, move on. That was painful. And I did kind of despise him for a minute because I felt like he played me. But I said, okay, I needed to learn that lesson and help myself to like be okay with being vulnerable and tell people how I feel, whether it's romantically or just expressing myself, period, without feeling embarrassed. So, trolls, yeah, I did that. I told him how I felt, and it was kind of scary, but I felt liberated that I even had the balls to even say half of the stuff that I was saying, because I just could have kept that to myself. But it's the peace in it. So it's never in vain when someone that you come across is not the one. It's not in vain because I can guarantee you learned something from that. You've learned or you have the capacity to learn something from that. So, um, we might just switch this from, I don't even think I'm not gonna say that. How am I gonna do this? Because I've been on here for like a long time. And I said I was gonna do that. But Miss Free came and like just she freed the floodgates. She came in and just like opened the floodgates of like all of this stuff. Like all of it. So um maybe we're just talking about this because God wants you to get free before the year is over. Like, I really, I believe this. I do. The year 2022 is going to be for union. I believe that. And it may be unions within your household, with loved ones, society. You might see more people being more caring, more empathetic, more, of humanity. You might see that, more of that. And people coming into unions with their soul tribe, and people coming into divine connection with people, divine helpers, divine loves, romantic loves. Some people might be getting married or engaged, I believe it. And because like God, for the past this year, 22 Genesis 22 2 and 22 kept coming to me, and the number 22 was always showing up in my experience this year. And I really believe it. I believe that. And I'm gonna do a separate video on this, but the number 6, when you add 222 or 2022 into one single digit, it's a 6. It's love. That's the number of harmony. That's the number of balance, compassion, the heart, community. And the number 6 major arcana is the Lover's card. I do believe that. I believe it. Hey sis, I believe it. I believe it. So if you're in this karmic loop and cycle with things that are in disharmony with you, whether it's your finances, whether it's your living situation, whether it's your friend groups and circles, your career path, your love life, anything that is not in harmony and balance with you, Spirit's revealing it right now so that you can cut yourself off from it. Cut yourself off from it. So that when you come into the year of harmony and balance, you're in that place to receive that balance. You're in the place to receive that. You're not out of the loop. You're in alignment with it. It's already there. It's already set in place for you. You just gotta walk into the vibration of it. That's it. That's it. You can delay your own shit. We can delay ourselves. But everything is already set in motion. It's already set. It's up to you. So you want to keep going in these karmic cycles and loops. Money looking funny, sometimes, and again, this is where discernment always comes in. You don't want to automatically say, this is happening because I did something wrong, or this is happening because I'm not doing enough, or this is happening because of this and that. Make sure you discern what's the block. Is it me? Is it just Spirit wants me to relax right now? Spirit wants me to heal right now. So maybe I'm not supposed to be going to work right now. I'm not supposed to be in a relationship right now. Or it's not necessarily that these people are bad for me. I just need to separate myself so I can heal. Or they need to, you got to have discernment of what your season is. That's very important. You don't want to make assumptions about why this is happening to you. You got to know what's going on with you. You got to know what's going on with you. So use this last couple of days, one day, this last day technically of the new year, because like I said, I believe that can I do a read with that scripture? We'll see what comes up, because I'm going to do it. I'm gonna do the video. I'm gonna do it. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I already got it like planned, like the notes and everything, like everything that came to me. So I'm gonna do a video on that. But what was I saying? Knowing where you're at, like use this last day, like have fun and stuff. Do you have fun? But before you like prepare yourself to walk into this new year, which is tomorrow technically, I equate spring equinox is the new year technically, and I know the Chinese New Year is in February, so it just really depends on you and where you're at with this. But globally, people say, hey, this is the new year. January 1st is the new year. Tonight or before the new year hits, set some time for yourself and say, these key things in my life, I want harmony in these different areas. And what are the places where I feel like I'm in disharmony with these things in my life, so that when I move into 2022, I'm not blindly walking into it. I have a clear discernment of the things that are out of the loop, out of alignment with me. So I can step into that alignment. I can step into Esther Hicks. And Esther, that name Esther keeps coming to me. My Lyft driver the other day, I think it was sometime this week, her name was Esther. That name Esther keeps coming to me. The name Hannah keeps coming to me. Sarah, A couple of Ruths come into my experience, but it's strong Sarahs, and I've been saying Sarah throughout this whole entire life. If y'all notice, the name Sarah keeps coming to me. Sarah, Hannah, and Esther. Those names come up a lot in my experience. So that might be something significant. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, I really would encourage you guys to set some time aside for today, tonight, wherever you are in the world, to anything that is in disharmony with self or with these different areas of my life. What is the disharmony? Where is it coming from? And how do I get into that alignment? Like spirit, because this entire year, it's really got to be alignment with the divine for me. Like, I'm not going in with Chenoa trying to do everything and all and everything by herself. Like, it, for real, like, this year is God's year with me and God, period. And anybody else that is aligned and attached to that, anything that is not aligned and attached with that, I don't mind it leaving my life. I don't mind it breaking out of my life. Like, I want to be in complete alignment, total alignment, and in harmony with myself and my path, my purpose, and everything attached to it, and anyone attached to it. Not do a reading. Can you read the scripture? Oh, can I read the scripture? You want me to read it right now? Let's read it. Sis says, read Genesis 22 and 22. Okay. Let's do it. Yep, no delay through the stubbornness either, because I'm a Taurus. I got hella Taurus in my chart. Like, stubborn is my middle name. Like, I don't even want to claim that, but child, stubborn might as well be my middle name. And I don't want that on me. Like, that's something that I be really just like, like, I can't do it. No, can't do it. Okay, Genesis 22. It says, and the rib which the Lord God, the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought her to the man. And my flesh, of my flesh, she shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Now, this kind of triggers me a little bit because, you know, I have to read in spirit because, is it moving? Okay. You have to, certain things can be taken out of context, things you spirit, not find the parts. You got to read it in a way that you're divinely led to. Like, I don't know how to explain it because I have trouble with this, but I'm gonna read it in a spiritual manner, not in a physical manner. Like, a woman, I don't believe this. I don't believe a woman came from a man. I don't believe that, but I get what it's saying, and I'm gonna explain it to you. Because Adam in Hebrew is really Adamiah. I think it's how you pronounce it, Adamiah, which is the ground, which represents the root, and then Eve in Hebrew means life force. So kind of have to make it make sense. Are we back? Are we back? Okay, we're back because it tried to glitch. So when you think about a rib, it's a part of the body, right? And it's the part of the body, it's like the support aspect of your, well, I guess you could say the spinal cord is, but also the rib. It's like that part. So someone that is your side, a part of you, a piece of you, was fashioned and made for you. And then, and flesh of my flesh. Again, she is a part of me. This is someone that is a part of me, and she was brought to the man. So a lot of men don't like this. A lot of men don't like it, but they say when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. He finds favor in the Lord. When you find a divine woman, a divine feminine, when you find that that is favor in your life, what that means is, because a woman that is divine feminine, she is your support. She is your biggest cheerleader. She is your counselor. She is your intercessor. She's your eye. She's your sight. So just as you are the head, because you're ruled, men are ruled mostly mentally. The woman is the heart. So she's ruled by her emotions. She's able to counsel. She's able to discern the things that you can't see in everyday life, just as you're able to practical and rationalize things and rule things in the earthly sense, like the finances, the home, and all of that. The women are the heart of the house. That's why, the kids and all of that. There's different roles that we play. And if you don't have kids, it doesn't matter. It's not saying that you don't have any work if you don't have kids and you don't cook and all that. I'm not saying that. But the essence of what a woman is, when you are a divine feminine, you are an extension of that person. You add into that person's life. Are a gift. So that's why when some people hear like women, they are precious jewels. Some men, those ego, the Kevin Samuels minions, the Kevin Samuels cheerleaders men, those type of men, they don't like hearing that type. They don't want to hear it, and that's not for them, because real men know the value of a woman. Um, It's only those bitch made men, those ones that hate women, they just despise women, and women are like those type of sick demons, like them type of people, like them Kevin Samuels people. I just can't get with it. We're not talking about that. Okay, and yes, there is some women that are she devils, like just destructive. Yeah, yeah. There's those ones, the Jezebels that will take you off your path, and destroy your life on purpose. But no, 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 no. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about those that are fashioned and meant for you. So the Genesis 22:22 is basically what I'm getting from this, is that the divine created two people to be one together. Created to be one. That's what that is. So we're built from the same cloth. That's basically what it's saying. Like, she's built from the same cloth as me and vice versa. We're equally yoked because we just go together. Oh, it was Sierra. Thank you, Spirit. I almost forgot, because Sierra has been coming to me, the singer Sierra. And I have to forgive myself for this, because I did a reading and I feel like it was completely out of term to do a reading, because this was years ago when I did this reading. And I didn't really like how I felt after I did the reading, because I'm like, and I had to pray about it, because I do really believe that these are one of the people in Hollywood that God brought two people together, like truly. Because when you look at Hollywood couples, I feel like it's fake. For one, it's contractual. It's for publicity and PR. It's for likes and, to feed the masses those things. So that's why I had to be careful with that. And I really asked for God to forgive me for tapping into a sacred union and reading on it, because I feel like I was getting stuff that was not right. So I have to be very careful. That's why I pray over my readings before I do it, because we can go like get into some stuff that we have no business touching, and I had to be careful. But when she did when she was talking about her story, or both of them, they were on a live together. This was a while ago, because I think she was pregnant with her daughter in this video, or her last baby in that video. Um, their son, their their third baby. Um, I'm gonna have to change the title of this video, y'all, because I didn't mean to do this. I did not. We just gonna call it year end shooting the breeze, because I don't want to like make anybody feel like, bitch, you said you're gonna do a free reading. I really look, y'all. I really did think that I was gonna do a free reading. That's not what happened. That's not what ended up happening at all. And I don't want to attract the wrong type of like questionnaires, because I'm not here to like answer like some things I'm gonna feel led to read, and some things I'm not gonna be led to read. Like, um, you guys can watch a pick a card reading to see if somebody's stalking you on social media and stuff. I'm not reading that type of stuff right now. Like, that's not what I'm at. That is not where I'm at right now. I'm in the flow of whatever it is that the divine is telling me to say. So you're welcome, Miss Free. No, you activated this. I'm gonna blame you. No, I'm just playing. No, you did. You helped activate like this, because I told you I had a vision that I was reading for somebody, and I gave her a message, and I had no idea that it was gonna be like literal. Like, I thought I was just tripping. But no, Sierra and her husband, yes, Sierra and her husband did a live together, and they were both talking about how they happened to be on a similar journey. Like, he had his own prayer of what he wanted in love and relationship. She did her infamous Sierra prayer, right? Because everybody like, Sierra, what's the prayer, right? And then Summer Walker came with her little outro, and I love that prayer. I love that. I think it's beautiful. I love it. Um, so they were talking about how they were both celibate, right? I call it abstinent. Like, I'm abstinent right now. I'm a born again virgin. Literally, I'm a born again virgin for real. So that was the choice that I made, and the choice that I feel like God was like, you know, you need to. That's a distraction, and it's not of your highest good. You know what comes with that, and to avoid any unnecessary soul ties, like no sex, none of that until God releases me to the person that's for me. So that's out. Ain't no wavering in that. Ain't no convincing that. Okay, I'm standing on that. So Sierra and Russell, I guess, they both were on the journey of celibacy, right? And when they had met, I think he said his first date, he knew she was the one or something. I think this is what God wanted me to share. I think it was. You can find that on YouTube. I seen it. It was an interview. Lala Lala Anthony, Vasquez Anthony, whatever, Lala, she was interviewing them. I think they were on Instagram Live, and she was asking them questions about, like, your union, right? Go watch it. Sierra was crying and everything. Like, that's the divine connection. There's no doubt about that. Like, I don't doubt that, because when you look at Hollywood unions, you don't see divine love like that. It's very rare. Like, it's very, very rare. So you see power couples, that's different. Like, power couples in a status sense, you know what I mean? But like pure authentic love, and a lot of people, like, they hype stuff because it's cute. Like, oh, this person is this person and they're that person. Oh, couple goals, right? But that's just like the the hype and the status of it and the popularity about it. It's not really about the fruit of the connection. It's not, you don't see that divinity, that divine love in too many Hollywood connections. So them, like, those are goals. I feel like they're goals. Like, and this is a man, like, there's not too many, like, please understand this. And I know some women, y'all know, single women, single mothers specifically know this. It's not easy to find a man that will accept your children as their own. This is why when I was dating this guy, I didn't introduce Winter to none of the guys that I was interested in or talked to, because I knew that there was a possibility that this may not work out, and it's not safe to just bring men into her experience, and I don't know who they are fully yet, you know what I mean? So I didn't do that. So it's very precious, and I love my mom. I love my mama. But as a child, I experienced that this is my boyfriend and this is my boyfriend and all that in and out stuff, and what that can do to you, do to your children. So I wouldn't suggest that. But you're your own woman. You do what you want to do. But for Russell to take that child in like his own and basically raise him, because Sierra was at a very vulnerable spot at that time when she gave birth to Future, with what she was going through with his father at the time. So for this man, this divine, he's the divine masculine. Like, they may not be perfect. Nobody's perfect. But that's the divine masculine. And he came in and took that child in and raised him as his own. And they just came together. That's what I'm saying. Divine unions, they just go. You don't have to force nothing. It just goes. So us as people, as women or as men, why are we forcing people to love us or forcing ourselves to try to... It don't gotta be like that. It just goes. It goes and it flows, for real. And that's one thing that these divine connections, and I'm able to discern what divine connections are now because I've been able to look at different sides of it. And you hear their story, they're almost similar in a sense of they knew, and everything just like, it kind of just flowed together. It just was like this. The puzzle just... So there's no like, oh, is this the... Let me flip it to this side and see if this piece fits with that piece. There's no needing to do that. It just goes. It just goes. And I don't want to spend too much time talking about love, but I feel like I have to, because whoever needs the message, because like I said before, I was like in between going to sleep. And I was thinking about, okay, I'm going to do the live tomorrow. I'm going to do the free questions because I promised my viewers, before the year ends, I'm going to do free questions for everybody that I feel led to read for. And then I was in this between state, and I'm thinking that I'm fantasizing about what the live was going to go like, which is kind of stupid, but that's what in my mind I thought I was doing. But in actuality, Spirit was giving me Spirit was giving me a message. So when Free said what she said, it all hit home. I'm like, oh, this is what I was supposed to say. This is what I was supposed to say. The Spirit is funny. Like, I'm going to, how am I going to do this? I'm gonna keep my word. My word is bond, you guys. I'm gonna still do a free question. I'm just gonna have to do a separate live from this one, because this one I'm gonna leave up for whoever needs to see it, because we already well into the reading. Like we like, I started this live at like 2 something. It's 3:39 here, so I'm gonna have to do it. I just be laughing because that's the thing. Like, I be really thinking that I know what I be doing sometimes, and then God just be like, you thought, like, for real. But it's all learning, because like I said, I thought I was fantasizing about how my live was gonna go, which is so stupid. Like, I'm thinking that, oh, it's gonna go this way because I'm seeing this dialogue play out with me and this girl, and I'm reading for her and I'm telling her these things, but it's actually something I meant to say. So it's interesting. But yeah, if y'all feel led to, go look up that Sierra and Russell Wilson interview with Lala. Or it might not even be an interview. I think it was just an Instagram live, and she was asking them about their marriage, and um, Sierra was crying and telling the story. Thank you. Yeah, she was telling the story, and they were like talking about their first date and stuff, and just how everything flowed. Um, that's divine. I don't want to get into the Megan Good and Devon, what's his name, Devon Franklin stuff either, too much into that, because, you know, I won't insert too much of my opinion into that. But I do feel like that was a divine union. It's unfortunate how it happened, and who knows, God only knows why it ended the way that it did. Like, I have my own take on that, but I'm not going to insert myself into that. Like I said, I'm going to just step out of it. But when you even listen to their story and how they came to be, it was a flow too. It was some weight in that, because she said that she was told that he was her husband, and she kind of kept it to herself, and then she told a friend or a family member or something, but she didn't tell him, right away. It was kind of like a thing where they just eased into it and courted each other into that marriage or whatever. So, but yeah, Russell and Sierra, I feel like that's what you would call real goals. That's what you call real goals right there, okay? And like men saying he's a simp and all that, it's because like men that glorify having multiple women and being dogs and being misogynistic and all of that, that's those type of men. They glorify the Futures. They would rather model themselves to be like Future than be like a Russell, a family man, a man that is of family and is, they rather model themselves after a misogynistic type of a dude. That's the type of era we live in, unfortunately. And grown men at that. Like, men in 40 years old aspiring to be like these rappers. And some of these rappers are family men. Some of it is image. Some of it is just it's just entertainment for some. Some of them, they really are about that life. Like, I believe Future is really about that life. But there's some like 2 Chainz and all that. Some of these people are really like family men, and it's just entertainment. So yeah, it's just sad. Like, grown men out here. Anyway, I'm done. We've talked like ends on ends on ends on ends, racks on racks on racks. We just kept talking. So I'm gonna do a separate live, and I'm not gonna be on there too long because I feel like I've done enough. We've said it, we've done enough. All right. And like, it's hot, and I want to take this wig off because it's hot. Like, would y'all like I'll probably flip out if I came and just like took my wig off and y'all seen my braids. Like, y'all like, my Queen Latifah braids, like what's it called? Stella. What's her not Stella? What's her name? Cleo. Cleo from Set It Off. Y'all be probably over here tripping. I would love to see if I was on somebody's live and I see her take their wig off. Oh my god, I would be weak. Yeah, it's hot in here. It really is. It's raining, or it was raining. I might open the window to get some air, but it's really hot in here. And I was gonna turn on my ring light, and I'm just like, oh no. I might have to because it's getting kind of cloudy over here. But that would be something to see for the end of the year. Like, hey, and my braids, like, child, they need a refill. Anyway, I'd be doing the most. But I appreciate y'all. This was interesting. Like, I promise you, like, I did not mean to go off like just go into the to that. I didn't mean to go into that. Like, that was interesting. Shout out to Miss Free. I owe you one. I promise. I'm about to do another live, y'all. I am. Like, I expect that. It's just funny. Like, why did Spirit do that? Why? Well, I know why. Somebody needed to hear it. I don't know who it was. I know I lost a few people. They're like, this bitch ain't doing no free reads. I'm trying to see where this dude is at with me. I'm trying to see if he gonna come back for the holidays. I just got that one last hope in me that this dude is gonna text me Happy New Year and then ghost me for the rest of the year. Well, you know what I say to that? You gonna have to cheers and be like, this is my last year dealing with the fuck shit. Last year of dealing with these time-wasting ass people, time-wasting ass dudes, these jobs that are not for me, these stagnated jobs, because I deserve abundance, I deserve peace, I deserve love, I deserve somebody that is sure and certain of me, I deserve a job that's going to edify me and my family, to bring me peace, bring me structure, be able to do the things that I want to do in life, the things that I deserve to do, go to places that I desire to go and to see. So I'm going to put my energy into that rather than these time-wasting energies right over here. So cheers to that. Clink, clink to that. Get y'all a little New Year's book. You know what? There's a deck that I got here. Hold on. It's a deck. And I did a reading for somebody early this week. I think it might have been a monthly read. I did a reading for someone, and it was this cute little thing that Spirit gave to her to do. Here it is. It's this card. It's got a little calendar on it and priorities. I had a dream about Dalmatians. Oh my God. I'm going to have to look that up. That's a Dalmatian. I just thought about that. I had a dream about Dalmatians. I don't know why. 101? 2? 101? 2? It's a portal? I don't know. That's interesting. That just came to me. I had a dream about like some Dalmatians, and there was a woman that she was walking them, and there was like an abundance of Dalmatians that she was walking. It's interesting. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, I was guided to tell her, like, in your calendar, like every month, schedule a self-care, self-love thing for yourself. So let's say like every Friday I'm going to treat myself to getting my nails done or getting my feet done, or I'm gonna get a massage every other Friday, or let's say you have an off day on Wednesday, you don't work on Wednesdays, I'm going to dedicate it to blah blah blah. I'm gonna do this in the morning to dedicate to my time, and like start doing that for yourself. Like get a calendar. Could be a mini calendar or on your phone or your tablet or whatever. If you got a little Apple Watch or something, I don't know. Every month, like on your calendar, dedicate some days to self-love, and just talk to God and listen to God throughout the day. Set my day with that. There's some days where if I don't have anything to do, and because my baby is not in school right now, I'm sleeping in, child. Sleeping in, and it's been raining too. That like rain is my therapy. So if it's raining outside, cool. I don't care if it's thundering, if it's hail, ice coming out of the sky. It's peace to me, and I like hearing it. So I'm just out like a baby. I texted one of my sisters. I said it was raining today and I was out like a baby that just got some warm breast milk. Like that warm breast milk type of sleep. That's what I was on. I was asleep. I was out. Like I was out like a baby that just got that fresh mama's milk. I was gone. And sometimes you need that. But when you have those days where you know that you got to be active and productive, dedicate some time to prayer, setting your affirmations up, and then dedicate those days to your self-love day, self-care acts. Okay, today I'm going to schedule a date with my friends to the bar. Every other Tuesday, I'm going to go to this park, or I'm going to decide to do a 10-minute walk here, a different park. You know, every other week, I'm going to do some type of different aerobic, or dedicate something to yourself that is going to get you moving, get your mind right, get your spirit right. But yeah, I was telling her to do self-love days. Like pick some days out of your calendar and set them for self-love days and do different activities and things, whether I'm going to buy something for myself on this day, or anytime that I accomplished getting my laundry done, you know, something, a chore that you just despise doing and you finally do it, reward yourself with something. Like me, I got to clean out my closet. I got to clean out my closet. But let's say, like, okay, I finally cleaned out my closet. I boxed all this stuff up. I donated. I dropped them off at the donational places. I'm rewarding myself with, I don't know. I'm going to reward myself with some wine, a bottle of wine, some good wine, some wine that I never tried. That's going to be mine. I'm going to do that for me. I think that's mine. But maybe if y'all want to take that, if you guys like wine, and be like, okay, I'm going to dedicate that to that. Good job, so and so. Good job, so and so. I did that. I did this. I finished this. I was able to get my report done on time. Okay, well, now I'm going to treat myself to my favorite movie. I'm going to treat myself to sushi. Whatever you feel like to do, dedicate some time to you and what you want to do. Yeah, that was the advice that Spirit led me to give to her. And I wanted to share that with y'all. So when you guys move into January 1st, like make the most of it. We say it every year that we got resolutions and solutions and conclusions. We say it every year, right? But really be active about it and look at it from a place of, this is my year because the divine said so. This is my year for blessings. You know, I've earned it. I did the work. I did the soul work. I'm still doing the soul work. I'm going to continue to do the soul work. I'm owed this to myself. And if there's anything inside of self that doubts that you deserve what your birthright is, which is peace, abundance, and joy and happiness, anything that kind of wavers that, like, deal with that tonight and write it out. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? And I'm not just telling y'all this as an assignment to y'all, because this is what Spirit gave to me to do too. Like, I want you to sit with any disharmony within inside of yourself, because this entire week has been nothing but pulling out the box. Let's say it's an old box of stuff that you had as a child put up in an attic, and you're finally taking it out of the attic. Wow. I had a dream about an attic. This is crazy. Anyway, so let's say you take this dusty box that was hidden in the attic and has everything that was yours from newborn years all the way up to high school years in this one box, right? Or two. And you're just pulling all that stuff out. And then the memories is, oh, this is my favorite blanket. Oh, this was my high school, whatever. Oh, this is my best friend in kindergarten, right? You're just taking all this stuff out. And all these memories are hitting you. Some triggers, some things, some bittersweet things. When you're doing that energetically within yourself, you're sorting through this stuff for a reason. Like, Spirit wants you to sort through this. And I keep touching my journal because I feel like Spirit wants us to journal and write this stuff out. Like, sit with all the stuff that you are uncovering, because this entire week has been nothing but uncovering energetically for me. It really has. And I'm grateful for it, because Spirit is giving me things to heal, showing me, okay, this trigger, it originates from this. You're still healing this. And I'm seeing it with people around me too. They're being triggered by their emotions. They're being triggered by their anger. The issues of their heart, they're speaking it, they're spilling it out. They're telling you what they're dealing with. They're they're expressing their pain however they express it, or they're showing out in their own way. And if you have the eyes to discern what's going on, you could see like all of us are healing, all of us are uncovering, and some of us it's very painful to the point where you don't want to deal with it. You're lashing out, you're acting out, and for some you're in that place, and this is why I say it's a choice. You choose to respond and react, or you can choose to deal with it and uncover it and sit with it. There's different choices. We all have a choice, because nobody's going to, not how to do it, but tell us to do it and do it for us. They're not going to do it. They can help you. I can help you. Someone else can help you. A therapist can help you. A YouTuber can help you, but they cannot do the work for you. Hey, Jew, they can't do it. They can't do it. Nobody can do the work for you. So we can blame the world. The world ain't gonna fix our pain. It's just not. So if you want to have a beautiful year next year and really make the most of it, break through your glass ceilings. Every little glass ceiling that you have that tells you, I don't think so, I don't know if I can have it, this and that. Take the focus off of everybody else and go within self. Like, spirit, let's do that. Like, it's not, I'm telling you, it's not easy. And it's not fun. But spirit will give us the resolution. I'm telling you, spirit will give it to you. And when you get through it, there's peace in it. That's the reward first. The first reward is the energy of relief and peace that comes with you busting through that thing that was so painful. Because when you're in that hell, that moment where we call it triggering, we call it spirals, we call it just being in that place of dense energy where it feels like it feels like this. Like you just feel like I can't take the pressure no more. You just want to throw. You just want to throw the wig store away. Like you just want to throw all the wigs in the store. Like spirit, why are you doing this? Like you want to break some dishes. Like literally, I have a thing that when I get a house, like a big ass house, I'm gonna have a room for venting, and the venting is gonna be like glass. And it's gonna be like baseball bats, and I don't know if that's like a violent way to like let it out, or a room to scream, one or the other, a screaming room, or a room to like just get some shit out where you're not taking it out on nobody else. You're not taking it out on yourself. Maybe glass is not good because you can hurt yourself. So that might not be a good idea. Let's do a screaming room where you could just scream, you could cry, you could just release it and let it go. Energetically, just let everything out. Let that energy out, and then you don't want that energy to stick in that room. So have a window and just let that energy out and release it. Send it out back into the earth to transmute that pain and all of that. That was interesting, spirit. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have a screaming room in my house. I'm gonna have a screaming room just for that. Like it's just walls, it's like an echo, and it's not gonna affect anybody else in the house. It's not gonna traumatize anybody else in the house because we don't want to do that. Just that room that just, where you release it, open the window, let that shit out, send it to the universe to transmute it and take it. Sometimes we do gotta go out into nature and be like, Mama Earth, I can't take this shit no more. That's why um we need to take vacations and stuff when we can, or at least go. Like if you guys are so lucky to have a beach, I really just I love the beach. That is my home. But I do like the creeks and the lakes too, because we don't live too far from lakes and creeks. Like we could just drive like 40 minutes here and just go to a lake or a creek. But oceans, I gotta go here and there. California is the closest place to get my ocean. Ocean is so therapeutic, and if you guys don't have that, go to a park and release it. Let Mama Earth love you. Let her love you. And sometimes I'd be like, that ain't gonna work. It really does work. It really does. So if you've been in hermit mode and stuff, it's time to come out, or subtly when God says it's time for you to come out. But for a lot of you, I do feel like it's time to come out. You know, don't keep yourself in this little box hiding and crying and being upset or wondering when it's going to be time for you, because it's your time. Your due season is coming whenever it's meant to come. I can't tell you exactly when, because that's not for me to tell you that. Your due season is coming when it's meant to come. So when it does come, your time, be in a place of receptivity and know that you're deserving of that. That's the thing. Like, some of us don't even, like, even subconsciously, some of us don't believe that we're deserving of good things. And that could be that inner child stuff that we are taking apart. We taken out of the box. So get you something tonight that is a pillar of celebratory energy, how far you've come. Because sometimes we don't even reward ourselves for the trials that we went through. We only reward ourselves when we get the reward, when we reach the accomplishment. Sometimes the accomplishment is how much you've grown, and that you're still standing, that you're still able to walk and move and live and breathe, and to even tell your story. Even when you're in the midst of it, that in itself is a reward. We're too hard on ourselves. We got to reward ourselves when we're also through the trials. And some people might say that's not wise because you're rewarding yourself for work that is not yet done. But that's what, when people give up, it's because they don't feel like they're getting anywhere. They don't appreciate their trials. We only appreciate the trials and stuff and the tribulations when we get that reward, when we reach that promised land place, right? That's when everybody wants to praise you, and that's when we praise ourselves. No, also remind yourself that you got this and you're doing it. Reward yourself for just doing it and still moving and still living through it. So, all right, I think we was on here for like 2 hours. It's 4 o'clock here. Okay. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do the free reads real quick. I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna do a few of them. I'm gonna do too many. I'm gonna do what I'm led to do. But that's it. I'm about to get off, y'all, because this was not supposed to be this long on here this long. But Spirit was like, no. You thought. Like, you thought, Chenoa. You really thought. But no. So I'm about to get off, you guys. Much love to you guys. For all of those of you that hung out and, shared your dialogue. I couldn't read everybody's dialogue, of course. But I appreciate you guys, ladies. Roro, was it you that... Were you the one that suggested the 7? You said something about... I don't know if it was you. I might be getting another person mixed up. But somebody on I think it was a happy hour or something... Somebody suggested a 702 song to me, and it's one that I've never heard. It's not nothing popular. It's not Stilo. It's not Get It Together. It's not Where My Girl's At. It's not what's it called? I Still Love You, I think it's called. It's not any of their little popular songs. It's something I've never heard before. The title of it was unfamiliar to me. I don't know if it was you. Somebody with an R on the chat was bringing it up, and I don't remember. This was like a Friday, like I think it was the last Happy Hour Friday that I had. I think. I don't remember. It wasn't you? Okay. Well, maybe it wasn't meant. Or maybe later on in life, I'll figure it out. All right, I'll catch you guys soon. Y'all be blessed. Miss Free, if you're still on here, I got you. I don't remember your question. I don't know if it was answered technically, but, I'll see y'all in a second. Peace.